I just took my bicycle, which I used to drive around anyway. I turned my camera on and I made that video and I put it on Sukhumvit Homes and it got like 15 or 16,000 views. And then I was like, whoa, this is in a different level than the real estate. How you call it, a perfect storm? It was the right thing in the right moment. I was on the right place in the right moment. So if you're strong enough, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
The thing is that for me, the most important thing is that I will be friends with anybody that makes YouTube that I like.
Jeroen Maduro, owner of real estate company Sukhumvit Homes and YouTube channel Global Travelmate. Jeroen can show you some of the best and hottest properties in Bangkok, Thailand, as well as be your guide to where and how to travel around the city. Jeroen is a prime example of a foreigner traveling to Thailand, starting and running a successful business while documenting and helping people travel around Bangkok through his media platform. Originally from Enschede in the Netherlands, today we talk about his journey from a retro travel blogger to becoming a modern-day vlogger and one of the top expat YouTubers in Thailand. Introducing Jeroen Maduro, aka also known as the Global Travelmate. Over 75% of the people watching this video are not subscribed. Could you please take a moment to subscribe to the Thaiger podcast? It would really help us out. Jeroen, the unicorn expat. I told you I call you a unicorn expat the first time we met because you are a prime example of you come to Thailand as an expat. You find relative success in business and as an entrepreneur, and also end up making videos on YouTube and succeeding in that as well. You're a serial successor. So let's start with the real estate aspect of you, because there's two parts to Jeroen when it comes to me. It's you're a YouTuber and you're also into real estate. So how did you get into real estate in Thailand of all places? Because you're originally from the Netherlands.
Yes. Yeah, so I came here together with my wife, Mirella. She's from Romania.
Okay.
And we came here about 13 years ago. And when we arrived here, we started making a traveling blog. Not a vlog, but a blog.
Okay.
And that was Global Travelmate.
Like on a website, just writing your stories.
So we had a website and we basically wanted to create an online, how do you call this thing? These books that you used to have. It's amazing. I already forgot about that. No, we used to use Lonely Planets, right?
Okay, yeah. Lonely Planet. There we go.
See how obsolete Lonely Planet is now.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make an online Lonely Planet idea because we realized that Lonely Planet is always it's always outdated. You know, somebody's writing it, then it takes a lot of time before you print it, and it might take a year before somebody gets the book. Yeah. So all the information is old. So we started Global Travelmate with the idea of making a vlog where we could just write something and people could reply on it, and then you would have up-to-date information. So that's how Global Travelmate started. And then we realized that a lot of people actually were more interested in relocating to Thailand instead of traveling. And they contacted us, and that's how we got to the idea to do real estate. And my wife already had a background in real estate, so about 9 years ago we started Sukhumvit Homes. So that's how that idea came into being.
Why did you choose Thailand of all the places in Asia? You know, I would have thought that Westerners would prefer doing business in Singapore. Maybe that's a bit more of a popular destination.
Yeah.
So did you come with real estate in mind, or was it just to travel blog?
Because we were doing the traveling thing, and Thailand, of course, is a hub for travelers in Southeast Asia and Asia in general. And so that was one of the reasons why we came to Thailand.
Okay. So when you came to Thailand and you've decided now to start your real estate company or work in real estate, how difficult was it for you as a foreigner to get started here? You know, as a foreigner, you need to set up a business, you need to get a work permit. So how difficult was it?
The thing is that we had a little bit of financial backing, which is very important. So if you have that, then it's not that difficult, to be really honest. I mean, if you find the right people that can help you. In the beginning, we had a few people that were helping us with setting up the business that were not so good. Let's say it like that. And we managed to find a very good accountant that we still use, and she just set up everything at some point. And if you have the right people, it's possible.
And is it initially very expensive to set up a business as a foreigner here? Because some people make it seem so easy, right? Like they'll be like, oh, I'm going to fly to Thailand and I'm going to start a business and I'm going to be successful. And then there's some people who are like, oh, there's too much headache. There's so much paperwork. It's not worth it. There's corruption, blah, blah, blah.
I think the financial backing, that's the most important thing. I mean,
if you have the money,
if you have some money, then you don't have to have a lot of money, but you need to have money. I think you need to have a good idea. You know, I mean, same as business anywhere in the world. You need to do something that you need to make or produce, or if you want to have a coffee shop or a restaurant or whatever, you need to do something where you add value to Thailand.
Yeah.
Right? Or something that is valuable for tourists that come here or people that live here. And then I think it's not that expensive. We started with doing our business online. So we didn't have to worry too much about having an office or having... there was a lot of expenses that we didn't have to worry about. So just to start a business is not that expensive actually.
After setting up your business, was it difficult? Like, was there a lot of competition around? Like, how did you compete with all these already established companies? So, we have what, Thailand Property, DD Property, Dot Property, Fazwaz, Hip Flat, Siam Real Estate.
Yeah.
If you actually type on Google Thailand Property, there's about 30 or 40 different choices.
Yes.
So especially with the business being run online, was there a lot of competition, and how did you compete?
Well, when we started about 9 years ago, we were one of the first real estate agencies here that were really using the internet. Okay. So we started with a Facebook page. We posted a lot of Facebook. Now everybody does that, but then we were one of the first, and that's where we got our first customers from. Plus, we already had people connecting to us through this Global Travel Made website. Even though the Global Travel Made website was not very successful in the travel industry, it did provide us our first customers, because that's the most important thing. You need to have customers.
Yeah.
And also at that time, companies like Fazwaz didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
I mean, they came a couple of years later, and we just tried. Let's say like this: we just tried to be ahead on social media or on the internet, because that's where our strength was. And this is actually the same reason why I went into the YouTube, because already 9 years ago we had a Facebook page, we had a website, and on the website I could make videos. So I started making my first real estate videos, and that's how I started filming. And the first real estate videos, if you look at the Sukhumvit Homes real estate, if you look at the Sukhumvit Homes real estate YouTube channel, it's horrible. I mean, the first ones I was just walking in with my camera and I was just bubbling everywhere, and I made a video in 1 minute. I didn't edit it, but I just put it on the website, and a lot of people appreciated that, because we were also one of the first ones here that were filming real estate. And that's where we could differentiate ourselves a little bit. And I think still, one of the most important things of our business is the videos, the YouTube videos, and the social media that we use that with.
Okay. So, what is the relationship here in Thailand amongst real estate companies and in the market? Is it friendly? Is it cutthroat? Because normally I would suspect, like in real estate, it's first one to sell the house or get the rent gets the commission.
Yeah.
So are there friendly relationships, or is everyone?
I mean, there are plenty of agents where we have a very friendly relationship with. So the thing is that we started to work into a niche. So our niche, for example, is high-end real estate. We are only doing rentals and sales on a very high level, and we basically know all our competition, and we are friendly. And we are friendly with each other. Let's say like this. I mean, I will give any agents one chance. And if an agent is, how do you say it, properly screwing me over, I will never deal with them anymore.
Okay.
And that happens once in a while. But most people understand that the relationship that you have with your, if you want to co-broke, that's how you call it, is for the long term. Okay. Because you don't want to just close one deal, right?
Yeah.
And I prefer to just play it safe and honest and then make 5 or 6 or 7 deals in a year with somebody instead of just doing one, make double the money and never see this guy again. Because in the end, you co-broke with people that can give you an extra. You know, I mean, for example, if somebody has a unit that I cannot get, I will call them and I will co-broke with them.
Okay.
But if they then screw me out of the commission, then obviously I will never call them again. But if they don't, I might bring them a customer every month. So I think there's competition. I think but that's a healthy competition. But in general, I think people like to work with each other because in the end, you make more money, right?
So can you give me some examples of some perhaps unethical practices by real estate agents or companies? Like what would be considered unethical? Is it just co-broking and not sharing the commission, or is it like, you know, what would an unethical practice even be?
I showed an apartment one time together with another agent, and then we met with the owner, and so let's say like this: I had the owner and he had the client, and we met with the owner, and the agent gave his card to the owner.
Okay.
So that agent basically should stick with the client, and I stick with the owner, and then I know that they later did other deals behind my back.
I see.
Which well, I mean, I cannot prevent it. I mean, and if people find each other afterwards, but doing it in front of my face, I didn't really appreciate that.
Okay.
So that's a person that I never talk with again.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And I always thought to myself, right, like for example, tenants can also be like that. So let's say, for example, you took a client of yours to see a property.
Yeah.
And they will, you know, some people will always try to seek out and try to find the owner themselves and make a deal with them, because then they, you know, maybe the owner saves a little bit of money. So then, you know, are you wary of those kind of tenants, or do you just trust in your relationship with the owner?
Well, basically, you have to trust the relationship with the owner, but of course, you never know. I mean, until you get to the situation, that's when you really realize it. But in general, everybody's actually fair, and most of the owners that we have are Thai, and I noticed that most Thai owners, well, actually all Thai owners that we work with, are very straightforward and very fair, and they won't go behind your back. So. I know a lot of people think different about Thailand, but my experience with Thai owners is super positive in that way. I mean, I would probably have more issues with foreign owners than with Thai owners.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. I like it.
All right. Okay, that's mostly my real estate side. All right, let's talk YouTube.
Yes.
Global Travel Mate. So you just told me it started off as a blog. It really kind of took off for you during the pandemic.
Yes.
So you always used it as a platform where you would already make real estate videos. But when did you realize that, hey, there might something be here? Like, you know, there's something here. I'm onto something, you know, when your subscriber list just started to increase. Do you remember the time or the video where it just went?
Well, the thing was that, so I have 2 channels. I have Sukhumvit Homes and Global Travel Mate.
Okay.
And on the Sukhumvit Homes channel, I had about 5,000 subscribers when I started with Global Travel Mate. And I was filming real estate. I was filming properties all the time. And when the pandemic started, I thought, okay, because our point was to reach people that are not in Thailand. You know, if somebody's in New York or in London or in Amsterdam or whatever, they want to move to Thailand, I can show you the video already on how it looks. And with the pandemic, I realized, okay, nobody's coming in. And what are we going to do now?
Yeah.
So you have to be flexible. And then I started making videos on Sukhumvit Homes about the areas in Thailand, or the areas in Bangkok. And I just took my bicycle, which I used to drive around anyway. I turned my camera on and I filmed. The first video that I filmed was along the Klong San Sep, which is the canal that's you can use a canal boat on. And I made that video and I put it on Sukhumvit Homes, and it got like 15 or 16,000 views. And then I was like, whoa, this is in a different level than the real estate, because the Sukhumvit Homes videos, they got always like maximum 1,000 or something. And then I started making more of these videos, and I think I made 3 or 4. I was not talking in them. I was only typing information, put a little bit of music on it. And then I thought, after 4 or 5 videos, like, okay, I'm actually taking too much away from the real estate, because I don't want people to connect with me to bike around in Bangkok. I mean, I want them to connect with me and rent an apartment. And then I realized that I had this old YouTube channel, which was Global Travel Mate, which had 100 subscribers. And I started making these same videos on Global Travel Mate. And I used Sukhumvit Homes to push the people
there.
to bring them there. So it was a very good base to start the channel. And basically because there were only a few YouTubers in Bangkok at the time, and nobody could travel here, and a lot of people wanted to know what was going on. So it was the perfect storm. It was the right thing in the right moment. I was on the right place in the right moment.
So once those videos started taking off, did you ever think of the Global Travel Mate as like a natural marketing tool, or do you treat it completely separately? So as in, Sukhumvit Homes, Global Travel Mate, do you think of that as a marketing tool, or it's like, no, it's just Global Travel Mate, it's a brand in itself?
It's connected. It's connected because the idea that I have with Global Travel Mate is to show Bangkok through my eyes.
Okay.
That's also how I describe it. And Bangkok through my eyes is also as an owner of a real estate company. So it's definitely connected with each other. And of course, the feeling that I have, if I can let people know that I know the city, then they might also be more willing to hire me or to take me on as a real estate agent. So it's definitely connected with each other. On the other hand, Global Travel Mate is just fun to do, and I don't want to make it too commercial. So I don't want to focus too much on the real estate. So I just do a lot of videos, and once in a while, I show a nice penthouse, which I think is nice content anyway. Yeah. So I think it really works with each other, right?
Everybody likes a nice penthouse.
Exactly.
So I think you told me as well that your ideal client, you don't just sell any 8,000 baht rented house.
Yeah.
You do have a little bit of niche, as in you're trying to rent out, and your real estate properties are of a certain standard. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So when we started 9 years ago, we rented anything. Because you have a database and you just you get customers, and any customer that we got, we just help them. And then at some point we just realized that we were getting really busy. And the busier you get, you need to make a decision. And the decision was very simple in my eyes. Like, we can hire more staff, and then we can just we can take care of a lot more clients, or we up the budget. Because in the end, the work is the same, because as a real estate agent here, you get paid by the owner. And if you rent out an apartment for 15,000 baht, the owner will pay you 15,000 baht commission based on a 1-year deal. But if the apartment is 80,000 baht, you get 80,000 baht commission. So you basically get 4 or 5 times more the money. And that's why we decided to try and go onto a higher budget. And I think that was a very good move, because now we can target target the marketing a lot more on the high-end apartments, and there's a lot less competition there, because most freelance agents in Bangkok, they all work on the lower segment. So it worked out pretty good.
So what's the current state of the real estate market? Like, let's start with Bangkok. So you only operate in Bangkok?
Yes. Yeah.
So obviously, the pandemic will have its hit now, but as now the country is trying to recover, is there still a huge demand for real estate here?
Actually, it's really picking up again.
And that's what I feel as well, because I see the rush around me, and being in contact with Fazwas and stuff. I'm like, oh, these guys are busy. Real estate market seems to be doing very well.
So I mean, there are two markets. You have the rental market and the sales. So the rental market was completely down for 2 years. In our case, again, we were lucky, or how do you say it? I mean, I don't really believe in luck. We made the right decisions in the right moment. The people that rent these high-end apartments, they are mostly working for the embassies, or they are the CEOs of companies, and they were still moving around. I mean, embassies were still changing staff, even during the pandemic. And so that was number one. Number two, people could not go out, people could not come in, but they could move inside of Bangkok. And a lot of people here rent for 1 year. So luckily we treated these people well, and they came back. So we had a lot of people that were just coming back and moving inside of Bangkok. So we were still doing business. But for example, if you were focused on the let's say the expats that have a lower budget. I mean, I have a lower budget myself as well. I'm not renting for the prices that we rent out, then
like most real estate agents,
of
right?
course, of course.
You're selling like sometimes these 85,000 baht, 150,000 baht
I cannot
rent
live there
per month.
Yeah,
But like ourselves, we're like, oh, we're in a completely different world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, that's the thing, I mean, I always have the same feeling when I walk into the Central Embassy Mall and I see the Gucci store and the people that live there, the people that work there, say, well, they are not wearing Gucci.
Yeah.
I guess, or maybe they get something from the boss. But
I think one of our clients, I think we were doing these service departments.
Yeah.
And I went for the meeting, met the client, saw the rooms, stunning views, creme de la creme furniture.
Yeah.
Like, the bed is has I don't even know what words they were using, man. Like 1,000 fiber sheets and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I can sell this. I mean, but in reality, I'm like, I would never be able to afford this place. Maybe not for another 10 years or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but that's
the world we live in, right?
Exactly. I mean, if let's say like this, if the people that sell in the Ferrari shop, if they would all drive Ferrari, it wouldn't be exclusive anymore, right?
Fair enough. That is very well said. Yeah.
So no, but yeah. So with the rental, it was down for a very long time. But we really see now since half a year, it's really picking up again. Families are coming back. People come here for business, and there are a lot more expats coming in as well. So you can really see. I mean, the building where I live, for example, there were 40 studios available for 2 years, and now they all rent it out again. So it just picks up again. In the sales is a bit of a different story, but with sales we realized a lot of people couldn't do anything, but they were still thinking about moving here. And what you see now is that the world changed. A lot of people are doing online jobs now. A lot of people working online. They don't need to go to the office in LA anymore.
Digital nomads.
Exactly. But not only the digital nomads, but in general, a lot of people just realize, okay, I don't have to go to the office.
Yeah.
And if you don't have to go to the office, you don't have to live in LA. Well, LA is not such a bad place, but let's say you don't have to live in. Okay, who am I gonna offend now?
You don't have to stay in like a 25 square meter apartment in New York.
Exactly. So a lot of people are now coming here, and I realize there are a lot of people that made money with crypto.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that realize that they can live anywhere in the world, and their offices allow them. With 3 years ago, it wasn't an option, but now it's an option. So a lot of these people decide to come to Bangkok because Bangkok is a very easy city. In that way, you can get your elite visa. There are easy ways to move here if you have money, and that's where I can see that a lot of people want to come here and buy, and a lot of people want to come here and rent.
Okay. Now, sorry, going back to talking about you and YouTube and Global Travel Mate.
Yes.
You said earlier you wanted to show Bangkok through your eyes.
Yes.
Now I find that very interesting. Possibly the most interesting part about your channel is because you only recently started showing your face on camera. A lot of your videos you were going around Bangkok. You were showing the current state. Look what's happening. Look what's going around. The reality of the situation. But it was just, you doing the walkthroughs. So was there a reason why you didn't show your face?
I think I want to make the channel a little bit more personal. And I just realized that a lot of people enjoy it, but they don't get the feel. I mean, I think that's the thing. I think I want to make it a little bit more personal, and it's not. I think it will make the channel a bit more attractive, just to see who's saying it. And what I do now is I just film the introduction and the outro, the intro and the outro, and that's it. And then for the rest, I just film in front and I just show the information. I just want to create a more personal bond with my followers.
Okay. So when did you start to show your face, and was there a reason behind it? Because you were telling me that, you were getting messages as well that like, hey, who are you? Or people would recognize you only through your voice.
Yeah. You know, it happened quite a bit actually.
Because sometimes it is surprising because people want someone to relate to, and they might be your fan, but they have no idea who you are. So was that one of the reasons you eventually decided to do a little bit? Because now you still do a little bit.
A little bit, but I think actually the main reason is the masks.
Okay.
Because we always had to wear masks.
Yeah.
So during everything I filmed, I needed to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And I refuse to not wear a mask. I mean, if society wants me to wear a mask, I will wear it.
Okay.
Whether I agree with it or not, I mean, that's another story. And yes, when did the mask mandate stop? Like 3-4 months ago, right? So this is when I felt a little bit more like, okay, why not just show myself a little bit as well?
Yeah.
You know? Because with the mask, I still feel like a bandit.
Okay, I get what you mean.
I'm always telling you, you know, my friends, like, look, if we would have gone into the bank, you know, like 4 years ago, we would have all been caught, and now we're walking with our masks.
And I mean, and you're like me. You're like, you know, walking around the streets of Bangkok. Most of the time, we're like giants amongst everybody else. So, because I also thought about, like, I was looking at your channel earlier, like a few months back, and I was like, man, this guy's found the success. Like he's found the secret to YouTube. Here I am, doing podcasts, making these, you know, experience videos, doing these reviews and everything that we do.
Yeah.
And this guy's making videos, not even showing his face, and he's still getting all these amazing views. Has he figured out the success to YouTube? Why do I bother showing my face and dealing with all this hate?
No, come on.
No, but
nobody hates you.
No, but you know, when you did do those videos and you saw those views coming in, right? I thought that was awesome, man. I don't know if you even thought about it, because I guess that was just something that you were doing. But for someone like me, I'm looking at your videos, I'm like, that brought a good question for me. Is it necessary to show your face? And then what you said something to me, it resonated to me, that if your content is good enough, then that's all that you need to drive the videos.
Well, the thing is, I do a lot of research on what I want to film. I'm not just filming anything. Okay. In the beginning, I did. Okay. In the beginning, I was just filming walking from Asok station to Prompong station. Yeah. Put the camera on 8 minutes and talk a little bit, and that's it. But then I realized, like, okay, it got boring for myself because I just ran out of areas. Yeah. I'm at, I think, 980 videos now, so I'm almost at 1,000 videos that I made. Okay. So I just ran out of stuff to film. So then I thought, okay, I need to come up with things that are interesting, and I also, of course, the videos that are interesting, let's say about the new trains that open, or the airport, or how is the state of a new shopping mall or whatever. These videos do a lot better, and of course, we all want to have a lot more views, right? So yeah, I mean. It's not that easy, I think. And I think the reason why the channel grew was not because I didn't show myself, but it was just because a lot of people wanted to know what was going on with Bangkok. And they let's say it correctly. I always thought, if I want to show Bangkok, why would I put my face in front of it? Because my face is always the same, right? It's not going to change. But Bangkok is changing. So my canvas, I would say, is Bangkok. Bangkok is my subject, not me. And that's why I never started filming, and that's why I'm still not filming that much of myself. I want to do it as an introduction and say bye-bye and just show that I'm a nice guy, and that's it. And for the rest, it's all about the subject, Bangkok, or wherever I go, you know?
Yeah. So Global Travel Mate is almost at 50,000 subscribers now. Did you ever expect it to blow up or, you know, reach this level of success?
No, I to be honest, I never thought that it would get this big. And I think it's more because it started as a hobby, and it's not, let's say like this, it's not a professional thing that I want to do. Yeah. No, it's connected with my businesses, and the business is the most important thing. And yeah, I mean, I'm just lucky, I think, to be there on the right time. And you know, in the beginning, I didn't talk. And actually, Chris, retired working for you, he's a very good friend of mine, and he told me, you should talk, man, you have something to say. And I was like, nah, my voice is, I don't like my voice. Nobody likes their own voice, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, nah. And then I just started with it, and then I realized, okay, it's actually nice, and I can tell a story.
Yeah.
And that's how it began. That's actually where it really started growing, and then it got fun. But in the beginning, I never thought about it.
Now, with success, yes, of course, comes the support, comes the recognition, but also comes a lot of hate and online trolls. So, becoming like this personality online, what would you say are the major advantages and disadvantages of your YouTube career so far? So, advantages, okay, obviously, I think you show your face still quite a little, but
Yeah.
it's still for me a humbling experience. But how does does it feel good that you're walking down the street and someone's just like, hey, global trouble mate? What do they normally say? Jeroen or global trouble mate?
Well, mostly it's like, you are that global trail mate guy, right? They don't really recognize me
All right,
directly,
okay.
which I like, because
Yeah.
it's. I also really like it when people recognize me,
Yeah.
because it also validates that you're doing something, and if they like it, if people recognize you and they don't like it, that's another story. But I think also because I never filmed myself that much regarding the haters, for example. I think YouTubers that film themselves more, they also put themselves more out there, so
Yeah.
they are more vulnerable. And because I didn't film myself, I could only be judged on my voice, or on what I said. And I always try to be as correct as possible. So
Okay.
I will never use a swear word. I will never make a political statement. And I do that I really want to stay away from that, because it's not important. I don't find my opinion important. I find Bangkok important.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, I didn't get too much hate, or I don't get too much hate. And of course, there are people that don't like me. But if people don't like my voice, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
And same, if they don't like my face, yeah, well, sorry.
So how do you deal with them? What's your go-to?
I actually don't have to deal with it too much.
Okay.
And in the beginning, I was I've had a very easy policy. If anybody was very negative, if somebody has constructive criticism, I'm okay with it. But if somebody came up with really bad things, I just block them. And that's it. And I think in that way, it's a selection.
Yeah.
And my block box, or how you said, is full.
Yeah.
Because I give people I don't give them a chance.
Okay.
You say something bad. If
Yeah.
you say, I don't like your face, bye-bye. Then go and watch somebody else.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it took a while for me to get there, but yeah, that it's just like, it's not even worth it for me to reply. Just okay, instantly, bye bye.
Exactly.
And you're right. That's probably the best way to deal with it.
I watch YouTube myself, obviously, and sometimes I see stuff that I don't like, but I don't take the effort to say it. I will just not watch them anymore. It's very simple.
No, I have to type. I have to let him know
exactly.
the distaste in my mouth I have.
Yeah. But for example, if I say the wrong things, I agree with it. If I mention that, if I say this bridge opened in 1950, and then they say, but wait a minute, this is a new bridge from 1980, they can say that, and that's okay. But sometimes you get the craziest stuff. Like, okay, whatever, block.
Nice. All right. Well, so living and working in Thailand, like real talk now, once you're over all the tourist attractions, and you've been here and there, and it's just a regular month, it's near the end of the month, you're on cost control.
Yeah.
How is Thailand? How's living here, just as a regular day, as a regular person, as a person who's been here for 10 years? How is it for you?
I still like it. We both still like it, and
do you still like it, or are you just like, okay, this is home now, it's fine?
It's definitely home. Okay. And the thing is that we've been here for 13 years now, and we created our business here, and home is where I think home is where you work, where you sleep, where you feel comfortable, and that's basically how we feel about Bangkok. And in general, I like the country. I like the weather. I like the possibility to travel. You can just get on a bus and go to Koh Samet, and in a couple of hours you're on a tropical island sipping a cocktail, which is very difficult from where I come from in Holland, to do that. And I'm still very happy here. I like the big city as well. What I like about Bangkok, for example, is it's a very big melting pot of cultures. Especially if you look at all the expat communities. I mean, I know the biggest expat community here are the Japanese. So they bring their own food, they bring their own style. So what I love about Bangkok is you can enjoy any nationality. You can have a good hamburger, but you can also have very good sushi.
Yeah.
And you can go to a Korean restaurant. You can get the best Indian food. I mean, it's just amazing. And it doesn't run out. And that's also one of the things, what I always say, I show Bangkok through my eyes. And I like Thai food, for example, but I'm not eating Thai food on the street every day. I think that's very limited,
That was one thing. I think I was doing a live show once, and somebody asked me, like, what's your favorite place to go eat? And I think I said something Japanese, and they were horrified. They was like, all that amazing Thai food around you, and you don't have that. I'm like, yeah, all that amazing Thai food around me for the last 20 years.
Exactly.
So if I had a choice.
No, if you live here for half a year or you come here on holiday, it's a very different story. But if you live here for a long time, and that's what, in my opinion, still makes Bangkok interesting, because it doesn't run out. I mean, I haven't eaten Ethiopian food. There's a very nice Ethiopian restaurant, I understand. So I should go there one time. I haven't done it yet, And so there are still more options.
Is Thailand a place where you can make a lot of money as an entrepreneur, or is it more of a place that you've made your money and you come here to retire?
Oh, that's a... Well, I mean, that's a difficult one, actually.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think as in every place in the world, there is the possibilities here. And if you look at, what's his name, Bill Heineke.
Bill Heineke, yeah.
Bill Heineke. Well, he made a bit of money here.
Yeah,
right?
he made little chunk of money. Yeah, he's only a billionaire.
So that's a perfect example of somebody that made a lot of money. I think what also makes Thailand and Bangkok in general interesting is that you can go on all levels. So you can start a business and live off it nice, and don't make too much money, but you can still live off it, or you can make a lot of money. And what we were saying, I mean, same as with the food. You can have street food, or you can have a Michelin star restaurant. And I think with businesses is the same, and I think there is money to be made. And for example, in the real estate, I mean, we're doing pretty well, and I think we can make almost the same kind of money as what we do in Holland, which gives you much more possibilities here.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for everything, of course. I mean, if you have a restaurant, maybe you cannot make that much money. Unless you make a high-end restaurant, then you can still make a lot of money, or even more than in the West. So it's up there.
Yeah, it's finding your balance, because you're right that, especially in a city like Bangkok, but even other parts of Thailand, there are levels to Thailand that people are either just unaware or ignorant about. Because we throw this word haiso around a lot, as in, if you're not eating street food, you're pretty much haiso for a lot of people. But like, there are people here who earn a lot of money, who are entrepreneurs and have very successful and are rich because of their business and live a lavish life.
Yes.
It's just because you see them having street food doesn't mean that they're not haiso all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But there is a very high standard of living in Bangkok available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way that we live here, I'm not saying that we are haiso, not at all. I mean, but we can get anything that we want in the West. And in general, it's a little bit cheaper. But what you said, I mean, we can also go all out and spend all our money in 1 month if we want.
Yes, absolutely. What do you think is the current state of tourism in Thailand? I think in the last 6 months, or especially in the last 3 months, people are really now starting to come here, and it's getting busy. Do you feel like that in terms of work and in terms of when you're traveling around making these videos?
Yeah,
Things are a lot more crowded.
Definitely, it's really coming back, and we live in the Asok area, and you just see a lot more tourists coming in. You know where I see the difference?
Yeah.
with the taxis.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good example. I know you guys did something about taxis, and I don't want to go too deep into
No,
that
it's
because I don't want to be too
it's
negative.
a whole topic in
But
itself.
oh my God, the thing is that a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
you can get any taxi. You know, I mean, there was always a taxi coming around
Yeah.
because there were no tourists. Now, there's almost no taxi to get. That's number one. And even if a taxi is available, they will start negotiating because they know that there is enough tourists. So that's for me the you know the meter, the tourist meter.
Yeah.
You know, it's back to what it was before, and it's annoying, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy there's people again. You know, I mean, because the situation from a year ago was horrible, and I have
Thailand taxi scams, land of scams. People go all about it. Unfortunately, there is truth to that. We have to take a moment to admit that. But have you ever been scammed by a taxi? I mean, you've been here for a very long time now.
Well, actually, we got no. It's not really scammed. We were actually happy with it. The first time that we came to Thailand, which was 13 years ago, we arrived at Suvarnabhumi Airport, and you have the AOT. You know these
The airports of Thailand.
Yes, and they have their own taxi services.
Yes.
And we came out of the gate, and there was some nice guy. He was like, "You want to have a taxi to the airport, to the city? Where's your hotel?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, let's do it. How much is it? 800 baht." So whoa, that's a bargain, because we came from Madrid.
Yeah.
And in Madrid, come on, you pay a lot more money for the taxi. So we went to town. We were super happy. We had a great transport. It was a nice luxury car. And and then a week later, we started to meet our first friends, and we just told them that, and they were all laughing, and they said, "You got scammed or you got tricked." I said, like, "Why?" But of course, I mean, it was official. But the thing is that you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
You're not aware of these prices. So if you're a tourist and you come in and somebody says 300 baht to town, you'll be like, "Yeah, it's fine." Living here, okay, wait a minute, this is a different story, But I could say that I was scammed there, but it was the AOT, so
Yeah. Standard airport taxi prices.
But of course, let's say like this: when I take a taxi, I always open the back door. I would recommend to anybody to do that. Open the back door, and then I say bye. Like, I want to go to destination. And if the driver says 100 baht, I just close the door and then wait for the next one, and that's it. So I don't get scammed in that way. Yeah. And the most important thing, I think, is to just not get a taxi that's waiting. If you have a taxi that's standing stationary in front of your hotel, they pay probably to stay there in that place, or they negotiate with their friends or whatever. They need more money, so they are not good with just having the normal taxi fare. So go to a place where taxis are driving by, and then you'll be fine. So.
Yeah, a lot of the times I feel like maybe they think I'm Thai. I highly doubt it with my beard, but I don't even get that many people haggling me. It's always in the tourist hotspots, right?
Yes.
You go to Soy 11 or something, you have to negotiate with them.
I think the most important thing is where you pick up the taxi. If you take a taxi in Soy 11, they will haggle, for sure.
So do you find yourself using Grab more, or are you just on the streets?
Actually, this is the thing. It's funny because I see a lot of people saying that you should use Grab, but the problem that we have, the location where we live, there's almost never a Grab available. Mm-hmm. So it takes like 20 minutes to wait for a Grab, and there is a lot of taxis driving around. So I prefer to just walk 100 meters, get the taxi from the right spot, and just go. So I mean, Grab, we don't use it that much. Only, for example, if I want to go to the airport and it's in the middle of the night, then Grab is perfect because there are a lot available. But normally it's just too busy.
What's your relationship like with other YouTubers in Bangkok? Are you friends with most of them? Do you know any of them? I know you mentioned Chris retired working for you.
Yeah.
But and I know you're having an upcoming meetup October 8th.
Yes.
But how about everyone else? Like, are you in the YouTube expat community for YouTubers?
Well, the thing is that for me, the most important thing is that I will be friend with anybody that makes YouTube that I like.
Okay.
And I don't care if they are competition or whatever, So I mean, Irish Times I know very well. Bangkok Pat, I love his channel because
Pat,
he's just so
great
detailed,
guy, great guy.
Exactly. And Gary, the Roman cook, I mean, he's a very good friend of mine, and I know these guys through YouTube. And and especially during the pandemic, we had meetups and we just talked about everything. Because the nice thing about hanging out with other YouTubers is that they know what you're talking
Yeah, you can
about.
relate to them.
Yeah, and they understand, like, oh, I made a video and nobody watched it, and other people will be like, yeah, but it's still 1,000. No, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's and so yeah, it's I like to hang out with other YouTubers, and like Paddy Doyle, I met a couple of Keys One is one of the guys that I really like, and what I also like is that everybody has their own style. I think that's the most important thing. You have to have people that are unique. And Chris is an entertainer. He's doing a lot of stuff and he's very active. Keys One, for example, is just about his life. He's showing Bangkok, but it's not important if it's correct about Bangkok. But he's just showing how he lives in Bangkok.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. That's it. Bangkok Pat is very informed. He knows everything. Thaiger Times, he does his interviews.
Pat,
very
Pat's
good.
just a bank of information.
Yes, yeah.
And you're right. Keys One is just like, he's not trying to be anything else other than just himself.
Which is brilliant.
Entertaining videos,
if you meet them individually, they're all nice people.
Yeah.
I
haven't had I've only met Pat.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to meet others, but I only know them through their work.
Yeah.
I don't have to know them personally, but I respect the work, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're right. We're all in the same industry, and if you think of everyone as competition, it's like we're all in Thailand. We're expats, and it's like
I think if you're strong enough, you don't have to worry about it.
yeah. Exactly. It's a weakness, right? To like feel insecure. I get it. We all putting our heart and soul in our work, but when it's such a small community, I feel like it's better to be friends and look out for one another, because apart from each other, we don't really have anyone else.
Exactly.
We're all away from our countries and family, and this is our adopted home.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm now going towards my last few questions for you, Jeroen. Can you tell me what is the difference between Jeroen, the real estate agent, and Jeroen, global travel mate? Is there a personality shift that you have to make when you're conducting business, or you are socializing for YouTube?
I think in my case, it sounds really weird to say, but I'm pretty much the real deal. I think when I do Global Travel Mate, I'm the same guy as doing the real estate. I don't think I'm not the kind of person that will pretend to do anything.
Okay.
And of course, with the real estate, I have to be more, very simple. I made a few caps. I want to sell caps for Global Travel Mate as merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, should I wear my cap here? I said, no, I'm here for the real estate, so I don't wear my cap.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay.
So I have to make, or I have a long pants on now, which if I would be Global Travel Mate for real, I would be in my shorts.
I was wondering
Something
that, like,
that.
are you more smart casual when it's like, okay, I got a real estate meet today, but then where's a YouTube meet? It's just like, like neon singer tank top with your hat.
Always.
Of course, I knew it, Jeroen. I knew it. The truth comes out. Another question I wanted to ask you that I think might be relevant to you is, you grew up in Holland, yeah?
Yes.
Now cannabis being open in Thailand, a lot of these people are like, is Bangkok going to be the new Amsterdam? And I always think to myself, firstly, why is Thailand basically obsessed with comparing itself to other places? For example, is Bangkok the new Amsterdam? Bangkok, Venice of the East with the canals. I'm just like, Bangkok is so beautiful and it's just amazing in its own way.
It has enough to be just Bangkok,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And like, why do you think so many expats and all these tourists would come here?
Yeah.
They're not coming here to feel Venice or feel Amsterdam. Those people would go to Amsterdam for that.
Exactly.
But what do you feel with these? Let's talk about, the cannabis is what people relate Amsterdam with. What do you feel about Bangkok becoming like pro-green and pro-cannabis and, having the freedom to smoke around here? Do you feel anything similarity between Amsterdam and Bangkok, or are they just, people are just saying it because it's easy to relate?
Well, the thing is that it's very funny because I'm Dutch, so people always assume that you know about cannabis.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't...
Like I just did.
Yeah, exactly. So I never smoked a cigarette in my life.
Okay.
I didn't drink until I was 23. I was always very active with sports.
Wow.
and I never smoked cannabis. I did try some stuff because in Holland you can try it, right?
Yeah.
So I tried it once or twice, and I was like, okay, it's fine. But I never got to really use it.
You know, you're not the first Dutch person to say this.
This
to
is
me.
what any Dutch person will tell you.
I was 3 close Dutch friends.
Yeah.
All from one from Groningen,
Okay. Yeah.
Amsterdam, and I don't know, somewhere the third one I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like, yeah, when we grew up, like, it's not, we don't just go and smoke all weekend or something like that. Most of them, they've tried it and they're just not interested.
Exactly. And the thing is that you have the opportunity to try it, and I think I completely support the Dutch system in that way.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there are 2 big things that were always you have prostitution and the cannabis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for example, with cannabis, if you consider it an issue, it's better to just legalize it and control it. And that's what the Dutch government's been doing for a very long time. And it's the same with prostitution. If it's legalized, you can control it. And for example, I had friends from England that didn't know the difference between coke, heroin, and hash, which is a very big difference. In Holland, we know.
Yeah.
It's like, this is okay. This is not good.
Okay.
You know, like stay
Yeah.
away from this one.
Yeah.
Go and
Yeah,
do a smoke. It's fine. So the thing is that by organizing it in that way, you also it's a very typical Dutch thing. You can also get tax. You make money with it
Yeah.
as well. You know, the government gets money out of it, and it's just what I said. It's just you can regulate it. You can make sure that the people get the good products, that they can get, they don't get sick of it because it's mixed up with some shit or whatever, you know. And so I, in that way, I applaud what Thailand is doing at the moment because people were using it anyway, you know.
Yeah.
And what you said, I mean, any American that I ever met smoked. And I barely know any Dutch people that smoke. So that means that people can make their own choice. It's not that if you legalize it that everybody starts using
Yeah.
it. I think when it's illegal, people probably try it more if it's available.
Yeah, because they kept using, you know, young people will start experimenting and doing this, and they kept using that as an excuse to criminalize it again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you are so delusional if you think that if a young person in Thailand wanted to try cannabis,
They will get it anyway.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's, you know, and you're living in cuckoo land if you think it's regulated.
Yeah, exactly.
When it was on the narcotics list,
Yeah.
and now it's not. Oh my God, they're gonna go nuts. They're gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna have 0.2%
It is
THC
but
water and go high.
I have to be honest that also as a Dutch person, it is funny to see how it went from absolutely nothing to like crazy. I you know, I never touched the subject and not for a specific reason, but I'm not that interested in it, right? But I remember I made a video one time and I was like on the street and I was filming this truck and they were selling it out of the truck. And I was like, I'm from Holland, so I know this. And then I was like, no, we don't sell it in a truck on the street. You know, there is like a designated place where you
Portable.
buy it. You know, it's like, no, this is actually way further than what we have in Holland, you know?
In Amsterdam, you have designated shops where
you have a
can
coffee
go
shop.
do it.
You
and
go to
that's
the
it.
coffee shop
Yeah.
and you can smoke in the coffee shop and you can take it home and you can smoke it. You can smoke in the street as well, but it's not common.
Yeah.
You know, it's like same as drinking a beer on the street.
Yeah.
You know, you can do it,
Yeah.
but it's not
But
common.
people choose not to out
Exactly,
of yeah.
exactly. So
All right. Okay. All right, Jeroen, my last question for you is I would like you to give one piece of advice for anyone watching this video now and wants to come to Thailand, either to start a business or, you know, make videos on YouTube and travel.
yeah.
What's the one piece of advice that you would want them to consider before they come here?
Yeah, I would say just try and come up with something that will add to this society. You know, so if you make YouTube videos, don't make what everybody else makes. You can do that, but I think you might get very quickly response, and you might even get very big very quickly, but it doesn't have a background because you're the same as anybody else. So people will move from you to another channel anyway because you're not original. So try to be original. And this is the same thing with the business. You know, try to make a business that that is needed here. You know, if there, okay, I don't want to be disrespectful, but for example, if you look at the tailor shops in Sukhumvit, I was always surprised and amazed by you walk past the tailor shop and there's one guy said, "Hello, sir, can I help you?" I just walk past and there's the next one, and there's like 5 tailor shops in a row, and I'm like, who can survive here?
Yeah.
At least make something different.
Or pick a different location.
Yeah, whatever, So and you know what it is? When it's really busy, it still might work.
Yeah.
So it's don't take my advice too much at heart, because there are a lot of ways that lead to Rome. Is that does that make sense or not?
Yes.
No, but there are a lot of ways that you can be successful. So but I would say, if you come here and you wanna succeed, try and do something different. That's it.
Okay. Well, Jeroen, thank you for...
Is it an hour or...?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Anyways, all right, Jeroen, thank you so much for coming in and taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, very welcome. So, for those of you who've made it so far, quick secret, I'd actually got Jeroen in last week or the week before.
Yes.
And we were supposed to have a 5-minute interview, which ended up being 10 minutes, and I had to cut it down, and I realized that no, because of the quality of conversation, I didn't want to cut it down, and that's why I was like, okay, let's do a podcast. At least I get to talk to you properly.
Very
and
cool.
have a
I was happy to come back.
Longer conversation. So yeah, thank you for coming back, and we appreciate it, and hopefully I look forward to collabing and doing some videos outside with you. And
what you said on the 8th of October, you're going to be there, right?
Yes.
Are you going to promise it here online? Or
well, I think this podcast will probably come after the 8th.
Okay.
Because I'll need at least a week to edit it. But I'm saying it on the camera now. But yes, I will be there.
Okay, if you're not there.
yeah. This is proof.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Jeroen. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very nice.